free points for K-State, and they couldn't quite catch up with them all night long. Now for K-State, they need to continue to serve tough, keep Oklahoma out of rhythm, and they were able to do that last night. They were very aggressive at the service line, and then just continue to press. They did such a nice job of not letting up on Oklahoma last night, and especially in that third set when they tried to make a run. And if they want to win tonight, they got to continue to keep that pressure on them.
Susie Fritz, you saw a moment ago, the two-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, the all-time winningest coach for the Wildcats. Back at it again here today as the Wildcats come in at now 4-3 on this young season, having won 4 of their last 6, and already a good start for the Wildcats as Megan Vernon able to get a kill and a side out for the Wildcats.
Yeah, she's been so impressive here in these matches with just, not really starting so far this season for the Wildcats.
So Mackenzie Morris, who we talked about a little bit last night, will probably get more conversation this evening. The freshman libero for K-State, who had a career-high 4 service aces in a match last night. A misfire on the attack by Oklahoma, and we're even at a point apiece. And here is Diouf to serve. And a misplay by the Wildcats. Carter in the receive, and the Sooners' Diouf gets an ace.
Yeah, a little bit different look there for Carter on the back line there and serve receive. She is front row. She will be hitting, but taking that service receive responsibility.
Diouf put it right on her, going at her again. Carter gets it, will get it back. Tips over the block, and a good save by Oklahoma. Unable to finish, back to Carter. Kept alive by the Wildcats. They go right side. Bonday, Oklahoma just over, but a caught the antenna, and that'll be a point for Bonday.
Yeah, that's very promising for Oklahoma. A much better defensive effort, much better blocking at the net for Oklahoma here to start this first set.
A little bit more energy from the Sooners. You know they would bring it today after really a lethargic start to last night's match. Wildcats serving at Diouf. It goes to Dotson, and she misses out of bounds. Dotson, a rough night last night, a lot of that unforced errors. Hit negative from the left.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the keys for Oklahoma. They can't give those free points to K-State.
K-State in black, Oklahoma in white. Two teams switch sides of the court. Big block at the middle on Maris.
The freshman duo up there, Fernholz and Carter. Nice job setting up that block. It's a little bit unusual play. They have their middle passing out of the back row and then coming and hitting a 2 in front of the setter.
Fernholz has been impressive early on. And by the way, you have 2 kids right there. That Fernholz 6'1", Carter 5'9", so a bit undersized for their positions, but getting the block.
Yeah, nice athletic kids though that work hard and are willing to put in the effort.
So much talk about this freshman class coming into this season, and it has been a better start than anyone could have possibly imagined. Good up by the Wildcats, a battle above the net, and a joust won by Martin. And after a quick early start for Oklahoma, where they led 2-1, K-State has rallied right back with a 4-0 run, now 5-0 run. Can the Sooners shake out of this serve? Diouf tipping, finding the sweet spot.
That's a good sign for Oklahoma. Although it wasn't quite in rhythm for her, it was a nice job. She saw that open spot, took advantage of it.
So Diouf has her first. French national team member. Leader in the Big 12 among freshmen in kills. Blocked by Dotson and Alcorn.
That's a great block by Oklahoma. It's a pretty quick slide back behind the setter for K-State, but just able to get those hands up there.
Service error by the Sooners. Last night, Oklahoma only had 3 aces and just 2 errors, but never felt like they were in a rhythm serving. They certainly weren't putting K-State in a bad spot. It didn't feel like. The Wildcats were able to turn it in transition rather quickly. There's a look at Lindsey Gray-Walton, 3rd-year coach of the Sooners, longtime assistant at Kentucky, former National Assistant Coach of the Year before landing in Norman. Dotson, who did not receive the serve well. Fernholz trying to pick out a spot, does in the back corner.
Smart play by Fernholz there. Saw that open line shot. It's a great, smart play by the freshman.
Diouf trying to cover a lot of ground. Diouf pulls off just in time as that serve was headed right at her. For taking time to turn it around. Bryn Carlson in for K-State. Tall left side hitter. Diouf from the back row, played well by the Wildcats. Carlson's first heavy swing is touched. And at the middle, it's Alcorn who turns it into a kill for the Sooners.
Yeah, another great sequence by the Sooners. Extending that rally a bit and allowing them to get a good offensive set there with Alcorn in the middle.
Good serve by Sanders. Back to Carlson, and with a blocked target, it appeared, she finishes.
Yeah, Carlson's matched up with Talpish. She definitely needs to take advantage of that matchup.
Talpish, the 5'8" setter, going against the 6'4" Carlson, who's pictured there, number 17 for K-State. Alcorn, wide of the mark. Alcorn is a freshman as well from Louisiana. Last night, 5 kills, hit .556, but didn't see many sets. Getting quite a bit of action here early. To Dotson, and off of the K-State back line for a kill for Dotson.
That was a much better swing by Dotson. That first swing where she had an error earlier, she got under that ball too much. This time, much better job getting on top of the ball.
Oklahoma has not been a team that has subbed in much in the back line. They are doing that tonight. Kira Morikawa, the senior from Hawaii, is in the back row, and now Asia Hardy into serve as well. A little bit of miscommunication between K-State setter and Vernon on the near side.
Yeah, Oklahoma's looking to kind of beef up their defense a little bit. Give themselves a little bit more of a chance.
Diouf in the front row. Oklahoma serving again with Hardy after the point, but Hardy too long. Let's look at Morikawa and now Hardy manning that back row with Kinley. K-State will rotate Bonde back in up front with Carlson and Vernon on the front line.
It's a big lineup up there for K-State.
Setter to the back row and Martin. And off the block, Alcorn on the right.
It's a good choice by Talpish to get the ball back behind. I'm sure everyone expected it to go outside to Diouf. Nice quick set back behind the setter.
Carlson, did she get a touch? She did not. Carlson had a lot of attempts last night, 8 kills, but hit just 167. So Oklahoma at one point giving up a 5-0 run to be down 4 points earlier, now within a point. Talpish trying to sneak one in, could not. Bonde touched by the block. And tipping over the net was Maris to tie it up.
Smart play by Maris. So it was a big block in front of her, and that spot, that left front spot, has been open so far. We've seen several take advantage of that.
Good scouting by the Sooners. Quick set Vernon, who showed a little bit of offensive prowess last night. This one misses. And just like that, Oklahoma is in front on a 4-0 run. Timeout for the Wildcats. We'll take it as well. Oklahoma with a 4-0 burst in the lead in set 1 in Manhattan on Big 12 Now and ESPN Plus. in this first set in the Little Apple. Got swept yesterday by K-State, trying to bounce back in the second half of this two-day match against Big 12 opponents in 2020. Maris has a couple of kills so far for Oklahoma. Keeping serve with Kinley. A little bit of a different look here for K-State offensively with Bonde now over on the left. Diouf blocked by K-State. Gets it back, going against a pretty big block. Sooners maintain control. Diouf for a third time. It's an up by K-State, and a battle above the net won by the Sooners. Good rally here by both teams. K-State scrambling a bit. Bonde trying to end it, could not. Maris with a tip. Carlson covers. Bonde off the block, ends the rally.
There's a lot that just happened in that rally. They left Bryn Carlson on the right side and had Bonde play on the outside position, likely to have a big block with Carlson, and they really were able to take advantage and shut Diouf down on the outside.
The versatility for the Wildcats to be able to substitute different players in because of matchups is something that's been a strength so far this year. As you see a service ace by K-State off our Big 12 Now and ESPN Plus banner. I mean, look at Carlson and Vernon in the lineup today. Yes, you've seen Nembhard, Archibong both also play well during the season, but in a matchup like this against Diouf, that height up front has helped K-State, it would appear. Shut down Diouf and the left side attack of Oklahoma. Hinkle a bit long with the serve. K-State with 2 aces, 2 errors in the early going. Sooners have 1 ace, 2 errors, as they have their setter now, Talpish, the San Francisco transfer, to the back row. Waiting from the whistle from Patricia Rolfe. Our towered official today, Tom Joseph, our R2. Ball might have been headed out. K-State will play it, and Carter from way off the net will finish.
Yeah, that's real smart by Carter. She doesn't try to, go up there and kill it, but she just uses that block enough. Allow it to ricochet off those arms, those high arms up in the air. It's a great kill.
Diouf. Bonde a bit off the net. Diouf again, got a clean look and a dig by Hinkle. Bonde blocked by Sanders, but nobody there to cover.
Now that ball came off the center scoreboard for K-State. Martin did a nice job playing it off of that and just getting a ball up for Bonde to swing at.
Things you have to deal with in Bramlage as opposed to Ahern. Big video board that hangs down in center. That ball way out from Sanders, but a touch by K-State. So the Sooners with Diouf to the back row to serve. An ace already to her credit. Picking on Carter again. Set will come to Carter, and she'll try and sneak it in the back corner, but miss.
That's so close. It's a great shot. She has the most room if she hits that deep corner. Just a little too long.
Carter moves up a bit, trying to get out of the spot where Diouf can pick on her. And a service error from the freshman. Diouf, so far, her serve has been the biggest weapon. Just 1 kill on 8 swings. But it's really put it on K-State on the serve, if she can get it over the net. 1 ace, 3 errors now for the Sooners. And Jackie Smith, who served a good run for K-State her first time up, will step back to the service line. Sanders wide of the mark on her attack with a wrist away. Took a while for the all-conference honoree to get going last night.
Yeah, they really need her to kind of provide a little spark offensively.
Diouf for the back row. unable to be handled by K-State, so Diouf will get her second.
Really, between last night and tonight, so far Diouf has had more success in the back line offensively for Oklahoma.
And Maris with an ace. A mistake by Morris in the serve receive.
Yeah, a rare mistake by Morris. Just didn't get those hands up there quite early enough.
Martin throws it all the way left for Carter. Dotson blocked but out. Point Sooners. And already bigger smiles, more energy from Oklahoma, and another timeout, I think, coming for K-State.
Yeah, definitely you can tell a change in their kind of swagger, how they're playing, how they're interacting with each other. A much better sign for Oklahoma tonight.
So the Wildcats, McCaslin, the home of Oklahoma. McCaslin Fieldhouse down in Norman. They are still playing their matches in there for volleyball, and of course KU playing over at the Horish Family Athletic Center. Well, those are the only two teams. Everybody else, K-State, Texas, they have volleyball-only facilities. They're playing in their basketball arenas to help socially distance everyone. Wildcats have played the last couple of years a few tournaments each season in Bramlage Coliseum and a few regular season matches due to television in Bramlage, so it's not foreign to them playing on this court. Dotson blocked back. Oklahoma covers, gets it back to Dotson. Dug out by Cook. Carlson trying to get a deep tip. Oklahoma did well to keep it in play, but could do nothing with it. And a point to K-State.
I gotta credit Drew Cook on those digs. Dotson is just swinging away on the outside, and she had some very nice digs in that rally.
Dotson looks very much more on it tonight than she did last night. Good relationship with Talpish. In rhythm. Fernholz splits the block.
That was a much better connection for Martin and Fernholz there on that slide.
Oklahoma now, after a K-State 3-0 run, will burn a timeout. Dotson hitting middle, but just got underneath it and tattooed it all the way towards the football stadium.
Yeah, she got way under that ball.
A late game mistake gives K-State a 3-point lead. Sanders on the right. Wildcats go to Carlson. Block kept alive. Can Morris get there? But not over the net. 4 hits on K-State.
A good effort to try to keep that ball in play by Carlson. Just pops it up. But Morris not able to fling it over the net.
Diouf, oh, just couldn't quite get the right swing. Everything was set, but already in grad school. So, but other than that, they're all freshmen and sophomores. So you really have, for the basis, your main hitters and setter, it's all new for both teams. Dotson through the block, her third.
It's a good side out for Oklahoma.
Needed that one for sure. Dotson, the daughter of Santana Dotson, 11-year NFL wide receiver. Harty into serve. K-State's been riding left side quite a bit tonight, and it's Carlson who gets the kill.
Yeah, much better set for Carlson there, a little bit quicker tempo. And again, she has a nice matchup there with Talpish in front of her.
3 kills for Carlson, but the left sides for K-State have not been as dominant as they were last night. Martin to the back row. Again, right up on that on a foot fault, right near the line. Morris with a good dig. Set too tall for Carlson, just tips it. Diouf throwing, Morris is on it. Good dig by Morikawa. Bonde able to get through the block, but did she hit out on the attack? She did, and a point to the Sooners.
And Bonde got that antenna. She tried to go with the line shot there and just get into that antenna.
A big point for the Sooners, who need a few here in a row at the end of the set. Vernon! Well, it has not seemed to be in sync all night with Martin, but just did enough to get it through.
Yeah, she was swinging away last night at those sets, but tonight just doesn't quite seem to be in sync with Martin.
Little tentative. Set point, though, for K-State. Diouf. Morris with another great dig, but K-State is unable to control it. It'll be set point number 2. Five digs in the set for Morris. Fans still on their feet in Bramlage. And miscommunication between Morris and Martin, and suddenly it's the third set point for K-State. One more, and we're going extra points. Talpish to serve. And a service there. Boy, a frustrating way to end it if you're Oklahoma. Valiant effort coming back, but they dropped set 1 to K-State 25-23. Wildcats have taken the first 4, the first one tonight on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Hitting 500. Carter on the court to begin the second set for the Wildcats as they start with serve and Lauren Hinkle. And a whistle and a double hit on Talpish, who had a number of those last night.
Yeah, so frustrating. That was a great pass by Kinley. Just the way you want to start off that second set.
Ball handling errors have been a huge issue for this Oklahoma team, as it's shot long and out by K-State, a service error for the Wildcats. Ball handling errors have been totaling up for Talpish, 20 of those now for her in the last 15 sets. Diouf, good serve. Vernon, a better swing, but dug out by Kinley. Dotson blocked, and a bit unlucky as it lands on the Sooners' side. K-State with Vernon. Not only gets the good swing, but then the block.
Yeah, great dig by Kinley to start that rally, but K-State able to put up a nice block.
In the match last night, when the Wildcats were hitting their groove early, that block was a significant factor in what they were able to do. Diouf got a hand on it, but nobody else does, and an ace for K-State. And Morris, who had 4 of them last night, gets another here tonight. Her 12th ace of the season. Kinley steps in Diouf to take it. Now Diouf from the back row. Couldn't quite curl that into the corner. Didn't miss it by much.
You have to credit Diouf, though. You know, as a freshman, there's a lot expected of her at playing all the way around. You know, so many times now you see those outside hitters not playing all around and having all those responsibilities. But
all 6 rotations for her, no doubt.
It's tough. It's a lot, especially when you take that serve receive.
Carter dug out by Kinley, who's played very well here early. Dotson, big swing into the block. Number 4 for Dotson.
Yeah, Dotson's playing much better tonight. A little bit more fired up, and she's just swinging away, using that block in front of her.
She's got the setter, or I should say, she has Fernholz in front of her at 6'1", is a little bit shorter than some of the other middles she might have faced. Fernholz at the middle, touched. Talpish sets quick. K-State digs it out. They go right side to Bonde, and Bonde off of Maris.
Good shot by Bonde. I love the line shot on that right side. So often it's wide open. Good vision by her.
Long way to go for Dotson and Alcorn to try and close that off. Couldn't get there. Jackie Smith the serve. Led a big run for K-State in the first set. Sanders on the right. Carter. Dug by Kinley. Diouf is roofed.
I think Diouf is going to have to maybe change her attacking a little bit and try to attack those high hands a little bit more and take advantage of that.
At center back, seems like K-State's starting to sit on that shot. Wildcats back to Carter. Finds success on the left side of the K-State Wildcats with a 5-point lead here in the second set, forcing a timeout by Oklahoma. We'll take it as well as Carter and the Wildcats lead in set 2 on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
I'm just not a good gift giver. Like this.
Well, budding superstar Aaliyah Carter for K-State with 3 kills early. The Wildcats by 5 in this second set. Already up 1-0 on the Sooners. Swept them last night. Sanders on the right over Carter, splits the block and ends the run for K-State that was at 3.
Yeah, much better swing by Sanders. They really need to try to get her going offensively, take advantage of her height when she's in the front row.
Carter a bit off the net, tried to tip. Sanders was there. Dotson, who's just, as you said, been swinging away in the left. Carter comes back with a little bit of thunder, and the overpass is hammered home by Fernholz.
That's a great dig by Kinley. But Fernholz, ready for that overdig, takes advantage.
Kinley's been playing lights out. Can't fault her for that, as you said. It was a full head of steam coming at her. She did great to get it up. Morikawa not great on the serve receive. Martin has her pick, goes to Fernholz, and she is blocked. Alcorn and Dotson.
Yeah, much better setup there. Dotson getting Alcorn there to close that block.
Each team with 3 blocks. And Hardy's service errors. Hardy has been a serving specialist in for Oklahoma today and has had little success. Played just 1 set last night. Junior from McKinney. Talpich tried to dump, got popped up. But the Wildcats unable to turn it. Instead, it's Alcorn.
That's a great setup there. Nice, quick behind the setter. It'd be nice maybe to consider sending a nice, good, and when you have a free ball or an easy play for Oklahoma to get the ball out to Diouf and see if they can't get her going a little bit. You know, I know they've been using on those free balls like that, using their middles, which is great. But you want to kind of get Diouf going, you know, I think for Oklahoma.
Well, the Sooners are hanging in there, but Diouf, 3 kills, hitting 0% in all 14 swings. And a blocking error by Oklahoma here on Diouf will give K-State the point. I mean, to your point, Oklahoma, they're good enough to win without Diouf, but you'd rather not do it if you're Lindsey Gray-Walton. You can see the Oklahoma with Talpish, and did she catch the net on the follow-through? Yes. Back-to-back attack errors by the Sooners. And Martin commits a service error. Well, the Wildcats aren't quite on it on the serve like they were last night, where they were just pinpointing Oklahoma into some bad spots. Talpish to the back row. DU finally gets one on the left, and it's way off and way out.
Yeah, I think if they can just get her an in-system set, a good set. She's been off the net so often, out of system. And they want to try to get her to get that good feeling going and see if that can help them find a little fire there.
How much of that is what K-State's trying to do? Obviously, your goal, right, is to keep Oklahoma from having that option. So how much of that is K-State, and how much of it is Oklahoma and maybe Talpish just not going there?
I think it's probably more that, you know, because they know that a lot of people are going to, you know, try to set up on Diouf because she's obviously their big main hitter. And so going away from Diouf, then, you know, they found some open attackers and they've done okay. But you also kind of want to get a little rhythm going with your, you know, kind of your offensive weapon.
How about that? A swing by Carter off the pass. Oklahoma does very well to catch that and able to play it back over. Back to Carter. Blocked and down. How about that rally win by Oklahoma?
Yeah, first of all, great swing by Diouf, but K-State able to dig it back up. And then Carter just jumped up there and attacked that ball coming over the net. But Oklahoma able to get the final say.
Trims the lead to 5. Oklahoma will serve with Diouf. Trying to pick on Carter, but missed. That's 6 errors now with the serve by the Sooners. They do have 4 aces. But down points, giving away free points, not the way you want to go. Tough server here in Morris. If you're Oklahoma, Sanders in a tight spot is blocked. Carter and Fernholz. Undersized, but great leapers. That may have just hit the tape more than anything else. Timeout by Oklahoma, their second and final timeout. Diouf trying to rally here in this second set. They do not want to fall behind 2-0 like they did last night. Dotson able to split the back row of K-State on the right.
Yeah, just splits the block, finds that deep corner. Such a nice shot for an outside hitter.
5 kills for Dotson, hitting just 143, but her aggressiveness and her approach has been much better. Just take off, swing, the whole 9 yards. Bonde not able to get it. Carter on the ball that came over the net, smashes it down for a cheap one. Numbers haven't been great for Carter, but she's got 4 kills now. Wildcats with 3 players with 4 kills. Really nobody has gone out and run away offensively. Dotson again, left side. Neither team is hitting over 200. I mean, this has been a much more ragged offensive performance by both squads.
Yes, we've seen a lot more errors and just not quite serve receiving as well as they need to, or at least as well as K-State has done previously.
It's a good play by Dotson just to keep it in. Kinley gets on it and puts it over. Back to Carter, trying to go up the left line, and she missed it all. And the Sooners will take that. A rare mistake by Carter, her 3rd error.
Yeah, she doesn't do it too often, you know, maybe trying to do a little bit too much there. She'll
get Redemption a chance and gets blocked. Blocked again. It might have been headed out. Hinkle played it. 3 in a row for Carter, and off the block, out of bounds. It'll be a point to K-State. She'll rotate out. I think Hinkle did the right thing by playing that one cover there. First from up here, it looked like it was headed out, but on that shot, it looked like it would have been in play. So Hinkle,
pretty close.
Former setter, able to throw it back in.
Yeah, it's such an advantage having her in there with her hands.
It's a lesson to all you volleyball players that are out there. Young kids learning how to do all positions, learning how to be a setter. Even if you're playing like Hinkle as an outside hitter setter in high school, she's come to K-State as a back row player and had a great impact on this team.
Nimhart coming in for Bryn Carlson.
So the Wildcats will go to the freshman Jaden Nimhart, sitting on a 5-point lead in the second set, just looking for a spark. And Nimhart has provided that in times past. She'll see a serve fall at her feet out of bounds for a service error. Nimhart burst onto the scene at West Virginia in place of Carlson, who was out due to contact tracing of COVID. And Nimhart rolled up 43 kills in 2 matches, earned Big 12 Rookie of the Week honors. Diouf, who has won that award twice, unable to get it down. K-State plays it over. Here's Diouf, and hits high hands and gets the kill, just what you were talking about.
Yeah, a much better shot by her. She was off the net again. That set was just not really very well placed for her, so she was a little out of system, but does a nice job of just using those hands in front of you. And so often, you know, hitters try to avoid that block, but you can really use it to your advantage and get some pretty easy kills.
Diouf is matched up with a setter. Nemhart's first swing, dug out. Oklahoma trying to knock it down with Talpish, but K-State better to the ball. Vernon and Martin combined to get the point and the kill. It'll likely go in the book as a kill for Martin. And she will be back to serve the southpaw. Maris on the left. And the Wildcats unable to scramble and get that.
A nice swing by Maris out there.
Sanders rotates back in up front for Oklahoma, joining Diouf and Maris. Nemhart ate up Hardy on the shot, but Oklahoma still has it. Diouf left side, able to finish.
That time she was just able to hit over the K-State block. Hang up there forever. Look at that. That was a nice shot.
Martin, one of the better, or Vernon, I should say, one of the better blockers of the Big 12. Diouf just went right over the top of her. Bonde at the middle of the net, walled. Nemhart on the scramble, tips. Oklahoma covers, but Talpish out of the play. Sooners a bit out of system, and then a double hit is called. What a ball handling error against Oklahoma. Carter returns for K-State, so Nemhart out. And Hinkle is in to serve. And just out. 5th error for the Wildcats today with their serve. They have 3 aces.
Hinkle has such a nice serve. She gets it real flat. She's very aggressive with her serve, but also very error prone.
DeSoto. Oh, perfectly placed by Martin. Oklahoma not ready for that. Little campfire defense right to the heart.
It's a perfect time to do it on a great pass.
Good replay there too, as you saw Dotson leaking out, trying to get a head start on Bonde on the right. Trying to read Martin's body posture. Carter, a difficult shot. Pushed over, so a free pass to K-State. Diouf and Kinley get their signals crossed, and it falls for a point.
You see that so many times, you know, Oklahoma just, I don't know if it's a miscommunication, but just things just don't quite fall their way, you know, get a touch, but just aren't able to track it down. So many different little plays like that just haven't fallen their way.
Now that one a bad luck play. This one a mistake by Dotson to the serve receive. She'll control it over the net. Carter on the left, blocked but into the antenna. That's a point and kill for Carter, and K-State rolling towards a 2-set to none lead. And Carter sitting at 6 kills now, tied with Dotson for a match high. Diouf, long on the shot. Little indecision from the line official in the back row, but from up here it looked like it was long. No challenge coming from Oklahoma. Set point now for K-State. Diouf 5 kills, but now 5 errors in the attack. Low set, blocked by K-State. And the Wildcats cruise to a 25-16 second set victory, and they lead Oklahoma 2 sets. Kills, hitting 143. Dotson, who has had good swings but not much to show for it, unable to finish. And then K-State with Bonde fights through the block, and Bonde quietly now has 6 kills to tie for the lead for K-State.
Yeah, it's good to see Bonde getting involved. We saw it early last night in the match, and then she kind of faded off as the game went on, but good to get her going and keep her involved in the game.
Redshirt sophomore in Bonde, who played a little bit on the left side last season in a reserve role. Moved to the right this season for K-State.
Oklahoma with a new setter in, finding some success there on the outside.
So deep into the bench go the Sooners to pull out Samantha Anthony, who was a defensive specialist, to serve as the setter. Former beach volleyball star in the prep ranks.
You also see that's Maris there on the right side.
So big time change up by Oklahoma. So Maris played a lot of outside hitter prior to her move to the middle on both the left and the right, so that's not foreign to her. Anthony in the middle is a bit of a change, only because in warm-ups we saw Olivia Curtis serving as the kind of the backup setter behind Talpish. But it is Anthony, and the service error here by K-State. Now, we talked about this last night, but Oklahoma was hit. We mentioned Anderson, Paige Anderson, and Paige Johnson, who both went down with injuries prior to the season. The other injury was a Kansas City native, and Riley Gregsted, who's from Lee Summit in Blue Springs South, who medically retired as the backup setter and didn't play much last season, just a couple of sets, but a former high school All-American. But suddenly she was out of the mix as the backup setter, so there really isn't a true setter behind Talpish for Oklahoma. So this is a little bit of, I don't want to say desperation, but just trying to find anything working by the Sooners, and Lindsey Gray Walton going with Anthony.
You know, yeah, and at this point, you know, they're just trying to find an answer, and so they've got a bench there, and they're going to try to take advantage and see if they can find it.
Again, Anthony out of Colorado, former AAU star, coming out of Longmont, Colorado. Carter caught, or Nembhard, I should say, caught the antenna on the attack.
Set was a little wide for her. Unfortunately, she tried to bring it back in.
So here comes Curtis into the match for Anthony. So it will be a little bit of a 2-setter lineup for the Sooners. Not a good serve receive. Nembhard tries to clean it up. Here is Curtis to serve, sets it out, or set I should say, for Diouf, and Diouf finishes on the left side.
Yeah, that's the most fire we've seen out of this Oklahoma team so far. Curtis, a pretty quick set for Diouf on the outside, and she just uses those hands of Martin. Probably her best shot of the night.
Finally got a set that was near the net Nembhard with a big swing. Dug out by the Sooners. Sanders unable to drop it in. Back to Nembhard. Blocked and kept alive once, but not twice. And Oklahoma, with a little bit of a lineup change, has been able to shake things up here in the third.
Yeah, Nembhard, wow, you can hear the thunder up here, putting some heat on that ball, but Oklahoma did a nice job that second time around, getting a better block up.
Huge block, too, for Nembhard to hit into. Carrington at 6'3", Sanders at 6'4". Fernholz was able to slip underneath the block for a kill and a side out. Shelby Martin, setter for the Wildcats. A little bit of a different defense to try and pick through as the Wildcats commit the service error. 3 aces now, 7 errors for K-State with serve.
And we talked about last night, they did have quite a few errors, but they had also a lot of aces to go along with that. So the ratio was a little more even, but those errors are starting to add up for K-State.
Tight set for Nembhard, had to throw into the block. Martin gets her third kill or fourth kill, I should say, by just finding a sweet spot to the right.
Yeah, Dodson's got to take responsibility for that a little bit earlier and smother that ball.
Martin's season high is 5 kills, so she's right up on that with 4. Serve received by Diouf. Dotson inside a bit, blocked, kept alive by the Sooners, and Kindling will put it over. Another tight set from Martin. Vernon just got on it, but then Bonde couldn't handle the ball, and another ragged rally goes the way of Oklahoma.
Yeah, a little bit of popcorn volleyball there, ball bouncing around. Bonde just got her hand stuck there. Couldn't get it over the net.
Bad serve received by Cook. Nembhard cleans it up. Well, there aren't many tips coming from the right arm of Jaden Nembhard.
You see, she comes flying in there, uses her approach as a good takeoff there. She has a high angle of contact. It's fun to watch her attack.
Former national champion on the club circuit coming out of Keller, Texas. Junior national champion. Service ace, or error I should say, just barely by K-State. Hinkle just missed the back row. Break for Oklahoma as they side out and get the serve right back. Quick set, Vernon, and it fooled Alcorn. Again, it has not been a clean rhythm between Martin and Vernon all night. Well, that worked to K-State's advantage that time.
Yeah, a little soft touch there, just over the block.
Morris to serve. An ace tonight for Morris, 4 aces last night. Maris on the left. Carter puts it in the corner.
Great placement, deep corner shot that's so hard to defend. Almost perfect in that corner.
9 for Carter. Diouf, who has had a lot of swings from that point of the floor, and more times than not, it's done that, gone out of bounds. Tough weekend for Diouf.
Yeah, she's not quite getting her feet around that ball and giving her an opportunity to hit both of those angles, those deep corners.
She's had 22 swings. I would gather that over half of those have been from behind the 3-meter line. Big block by Oklahoma up against Carter. Alcorn bringing a little fire.
Nice hands by Dotson.
Another big block by Oklahoma. Diouf with Alcorn.
Diouf able to get up so high. She's able to finish those hands into the court.
9 blocks for the Sooners in this match, but a service error is their 8th, and the point and the side out to K-State. 6 blocks for Alcorn. 9 as a team for the Sooners. They have been able to be much more successful at the net tonight than they were last night against the outsides of the Wildcats. But it's still K-State due to those errors of Oklahoma in front. Carter did well to help out on her own mistake, but on the overshot by K-State, they missed to the back row.
It was the right idea by Martin to try to throw that in the deep corner, especially with Oklahoma all caught up at the net.
Just a bit unlucky. Morris digs Maris. Carter is blocked again. Carrington has made a huge impact since coming in up front.
Yeah, she puts up a nice big block. They know where that ball's going. She's getting out there early.
Fernholz on the slide. Kill number 6 for the freshman from South Dakota.
Had a feeling it was going to Fernholz on the slide. Good choice by Martin.
The left side definitely gets the majority of swings. That's just how it happens in volleyball. But you don't want to get too predictable. And the Wildcats give it right back at a service error. That is 4 service errors in this set alone by K-State. And now 9 on the evening.
And Oklahoma is very appreciative of those free points.
It's Lindsey Gray Walton you hear in the background getting after her team. Fernholz blocked again, and Diouf for the nice stare down of K-State after. Double figure and team blocks for the Sooners.
And she reaches her hands out, but then she presses them back into the court and is able to keep that ball in bounds.
Service error by the Sooners. So now they have 9 errors with the serve, 4 aces. And Fernholz to the back row. She will stay in at least 1 rotation as a middle in the back row to serve. Sanders from the left. And into the net were the Sooners. So a point for K-State. Diouf on the right. Nembhard over dig. This time she tips. Oklahoma gets it over with Kinley and then covers the push shot. Tight set for Sanders. Back to Nembhard. Deep throw right there into the Oklahoma defense. Diouf couldn't get the tip to fall. Nembhard swings hard again over dig and pushed home by K-State. What a rally.
Second time we've seen Kinley putting up some great digs, but Oklahoma just not able to back that up and support.
Trisha Rolfe offering up a word to Shelby Martin of Kansas State. We saw a little bit of jawing back and forth between the two teams. Wonder if that might have been a calm it down. Volleyball is such an emotional sport. Diouf for their best swing of the night. Right at the heart of the net, delivers a hammer, and that sends us to a timeout. Diouf with the kill. And Oklahoma by 1 on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Oklahoma with a 1-point lead in this third set. K-State winning the first two, 25-23, 25-16. As we went to break, Diouf with her best swing perhaps of the entire 2 days. Right up the middle on K-State, 7 kills for Diouf, but 6 errors as she'll serve and pick up an ace. The 5th ace of the night for the Sooners, the 2nd for Diouf. And Oklahoma with a 2-point lead here in the third. Diouf picking on Morris, freshman for K-State. Nemhard, who came in for Carlson. A deep tip that's easily played by the Sooners to Dotson. Block, kept up, and just over the net. Quick set middle, but out from Carrington. Carrington's made a big impact defensively. That was really her first swing offensively, but she misses wide.
And those are opportunities for Oklahoma they just can't give to K-State. They got to make K-State earn those. So those errors like that are just so crucial.
Wildcats have had more attack errors on the night, but way more kills as well. And a miscommunication there on the near side. Again, Oklahoma, if you haven't joined us before now, Oklahoma made a change at setter with no other setters on the roster. Oklahoma pulled starting setter Grace Talpish in this third set, brought in at first Samantha Anthony, a defensive specialist, and now it's Olivia Curtis who's handling the setting duties. Right side, big swing by Sanders, and she gets eventually the kill.
Yeah, Oklahoma running a 6-2.
With Curtis and Anthony as the two setters, yep.
That way they keep Sanders in the front row, a big right side attacker.
That set had, or service had no chance of being close. Both teams racking up a lot of service errors. Well, Oklahoma, because of the change in strategy, has seen their defense skyrocket. They have 11 team blocks, a lot of that due to Sanders being up front all the time with Carrington. Alcorn, a big blocking presence as well. So the Sooners defensively have done the job in that regard. They just haven't, as you said at the outset, what are your keys? Eliminate errors. Tight set, somehow it works out.
The advantage of being tall like Sanders. That ball was really tight, but she's able just to knock it through that block.
Oklahoma pushes back in front by a point in a must-win third. Anthony back in to the back row to serve. Bonde sneaks it right side.
Very smart shot by Bonde. That set was inside, but she still uses her wrist away to find that deep line shot.
Bonde with 7 kills. Carter has 9, a match high. And a service error by K-State. That is the 5th service error in this set by the Wildcats. They had 5 in the first 2 sets combined. No aces, 5 errors in this set for the Wildcats with their serve. As you see the service errors now for both teams in double figures. Dotson. Carter from well off the net. Diouf, kind of an awkward swing, comes back trying to punch it over, could not. Giveaway there by the Sooners. K-State to Bonde, finds success.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. Oklahoma threw it over, and you want to see them set up their hitters. They were just getting that momentum gathering there, and they just gave them too easy of a ball.
Bonde makes them pay with her 8th kill. She had 8 last night, hit .333. Diouf tools the block.
This is kind of what we were talking about earlier, getting Diouf involved with some easy, great sets in system. And you can definitely tell she's kind of gaining a little momentum here.
And this was not happening in the first 2 sets, really all last night or tonight. Carter blocked. Carrington again. Well, the Sooners have found something here with Carrington matching up against Aaliyah Carter, and K-State is going to use a timeout.
Yeah, that ball was so far inside, and you see yourself at the bottom of the list with a little motivation to get out there and prove them wrong.
And the Wildcats, such a young squad, certainly have done that. Out of the timeout by the Wildcats. Kinley serving for Oklahoma. Fernholz. When the Wildcats have needed it, they have gone to the former South Dakota Player of the Year.
K-State might be close on their substitutions. You see Carter go back to serve.
Allowed 15 subs per set. And Carter just long. 6 service errors in this third set for K-State. Serving was a big issue last season for K-State. They really had struggles in that department, in serve receive and in their own serve. It had not really been a problem this year. Nembhard unable to get it over the net. And Oklahoma 2 points away from forcing this to a fourth.
It was a good opportunity for Nembhard. The block for Oklahoma was late, but she just is a little short, didn't quite get her feet to the ball, so she was reaching and hit it very low.
Diouf blocks Fernholz.
One-on-one.
13 blocks, my goodness.
One-on-one, nice job by Diouf. Gets there, she's still reaching her hands out, but that ball had enough heat on it, it went straight down.
Career high 4 blocks for Diouf, and then an ace on set point for the Sooners, and they take a set from the Wildcats. 25. Wildcats will open with Lauren Hinkle with service, and you got Carter, Bonde, Vernon on the front line. Sooners will go left to Maris. It's just not a great set. Quick to Alcorn. And a little bit unlucky for K-State trying to play that up. And a good start for the Sooners.
Yeah, not a great first set, but Oklahoma able to stay in there, get a better set to Alcorn in the middle.
While the sets have not been great, the decision-making seems to be better for the Sooners from the setter spot, at least. Bonde. Outright. A block on Maris. Left it goes to Diouf. Into the middle, Mackenzie Morris with a dive. Finds Carter, then she fires it long. And for one of the rare times this season, we've seen Carter a little off her game.
Yeah, again, I think just trying to do too much. You know, she wants to keep that ball in play, keep that ball in front of her, and just a little too much.
Carter again looking for the high hands, doesn't get it. Back-to-back errors from the freshman, and Oklahoma with a 3-0 lead here in the fourth. Everybody on the run for K-State. They just get there and get it over. Out to Maris. Bonde up by Kinley. Another good up by K-State. And Carter able to finish the rally.
Much better shot by Carter. She could see that block, left her that inside lane, and she's able just to split those defenders.
Tough serve for Diouf, and she hits it out. One One of the more difficult things, and you know well, Liz, from your time playing as an outside hitter, to serve, receive, especially when you're off kilter, then try and go up and hit.
Yeah, you don't see it quite as often.
And out of rotation now in Oklahoma. Not terribly surprising considering the substitutions that have been made, but an unforced mistake nonetheless.
I think I heard the referee say, don't leave early.
Sooners getting all lined up where they need to be. Just like that, 3 straight points for the Wildcats. Miscommunication there by Oklahoma. Free pass to K-State. It's a Fernholz close to a throw, but did get it in.
That's why it's so important for Oklahoma to get a good pass on their serve receive to get themselves into their offense. Otherwise, K-State, too easy for them to take advantage of that.
Diouf tried to change up the swing at the last second. Alcorn off balance. Oklahoma still alive here. To the right side. Blocked by the Wildcats.
And one of the things about not having maybe a true setter to say is just, you know, kind of your setter selection and your ability to really run kind of a tempo offense is not going to be quite what it would be with a trained setter.
And a play like that, as scrambling as it was, probably just like to see that ball go out left and just keep feeding Diouf.
That's right.
Tried to get a little cute with the different serves or different sets to different parts of the court, and K-State was all over it. Bonde, 9 kills for the right side hitter.
Yeah, she's having a great night tonight, taking advantage of some nice sets. And we've seen her hit a lot of different shots, the line shot, and then here this cross-court shot, putting a little heat on that ball.
With Carrington in the front row, you could see in that replay, Carrington was sneaking a bit towards Carter. So it left her tardy to get out left to defend on Bonde. There's Carrington against Carter, and this time Carter beats her. And Maris. So Shelby Martin playing a little mind games with the freshman Carrington, the middle blocker, trying to keep her tardy from getting out early on a pin hitter.
Yeah, and that's an advantage of having a good trained setter in that position.
Diouf. Back to Carter. Into the block, into the antenna. Back-to-back kills for the freshman Carter. And in double figures, she zooms again for the 7th time in 8 matches. Timeout, Sooners. K-State on an 8-1 run here in the 4th set on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Wildcats on an 8-1 run, forcing the early Oklahoma timeout. Carter has had back-to-back kills, but she is blocked here by Carrington, and that's 14 blocks now by the Sooners in 3 sets, or 4 sets.
There was a seam there in between that block. You'd like to see Carter kind of go for that seam, trying to sneak it inside the block, and Oklahoma was all over that.
Fernholz tipping. She has not done much tonight. And K-State, the benefit of Sanders, who got set pretty tight to the net. And here comes Bryn Carlson back in for the Wildcats. So Jaden Nembhard, we saw her in set 3 for a while for K-State. Now it's Carlson back in there in set 4. At the opposite hitter, or at the outside hitter opposite of Carter. And right away, Carlson. There was not a conclusive replay that showed that that was in. But to Oklahoma, and to what we talked about, much closer than first thought, no doubt, and probably worth the challenge if you're the Sooners. Instead, now down 6. Dotson for the back row.
That's a great play there. She's got that leaping ability. Good opportunity to get her involved in the back row.
Former top 100 recruit. Diouf, a great serve, her 3rd ace. So while the offensive numbers haven't been there this weekend, today she has been fantastic with the serve and has 3 aces. Pair of errors, 3 aces, 7 now aces on the night, 10 errors for the Sooners. K-State lucky to survive that overdig. There's Carlson. Diouf from the back line, blocked, but over to Oklahoma. Sanders. And Sanders cleans up the overdig. And just like that, Oklahoma with 3 straight.
Yeah, Sanders says thank you for that overpass. We'll fix it, hit it a little bit better, a little sharper.
Another service C that's not good for K-State, and all of a sudden the Sooners with 4 straight.
A smart play by Carrington there. That's so often you'll see a player go up there and try to swing away and hit the net, or, you know, make an error. Does a good job of getting that floor to the ground, or that ball to the floor.
Diouf with a good serving run here. Fernholz tips over the block. Kinley is there, popped up by Oklahoma and over. Martin through Diouf's hands. And that is a new season high for her.
Diouf would like that ball back. You know, that was right there in her hands. She just slipped through there. Didn't get a good contact.
6 kills for Shelby Martin on 7 swings. Dotson, nice change of the shot to the corner.
Smart play.
Dotson has 8 kills. Sanders dug out. Carlson, Oklahoma scrambling. They get to it. Martin looking for another, hit it long. There was a touch called and point to K-State. And the Sooners will challenge this. And I don't think Martin caught the hands
Now
of
did
Dotson.
Oh, did she pulled her hand back in time?
Looked like there was a touch there by Dotson, so now the only question is Diouf on the backside. Yep, she did. I think Oklahoma's got a case here again. This one, I do not believe there was a touch called. Or there was a touch call, but I don't believe there was a touch. Now this, I think, will go Oklahoma's way.
Yeah.
3 challenges per match. You get an extra one in the 5th. Regardless if you win or lose the challenge, you do not get to keep the challenge.
This is a big one for Oklahoma for sure.
Instead of it being a 3-point set, it would suddenly be a 1-point set. And again, players usually give you a little bit of an indication. Dotson immediately turned and celebrated, so seemed to indicate she did not touch it. Tom Joseph with the call. Oh my. That's a tough one to swallow if you're Oklahoma. And I'm sure he's going to say that there was not conclusive evidence that she didn't touch it. Dotson at the net, but boy, what we saw looked like, I don't think she did.
No, she was late up there on that block.
That's a tough break for the Sooners. Can they overcome it? Both teams scrambling. Oklahoma in system. Dotson finishes on the left.
A little sweet revenge there on that attack.
Dotson bringing the heat on the left today. Big swings. She has 8 kills, 8 errors, and 36 swings. Carlson from way off the net. Kinley with another dig. Cook slams into her own player, and then punching it down was Oklahoma. K-State thought they had a pancake to keep that rally going, but it was ruled down. And now Susie Fritz may throw in the challenge card, thinking that the Wildcat back row got a pancake. So Tom Joseph. Dotson gets the finish. Well, in the old ball don't lie sort of world, Oklahoma has been able to come right back and get a point after the last 2 challenges, which could have gone their way but did not. Service error by the Sooners. Both teams have struggled mightily with serve, either in serve receive or in service errors. And that sounds somewhat contradicting to say statements, but the service aces to this point have not felt like they have been really earned. It's been sloppy play in the service eve. Dotson, Morris, Bonde with a tip, and Bonde into double figures for just the 2nd time this season.
Yeah, really credit Morris though. You know, she is not afraid to lay her body out and get that ball up. Great job by her.
12 digs, 2 aces for Morris, so 6 aces in 2 days for Morris. Maris from the left side hits one to the corner.
Nice corner shot there by Maris.
Maris started the night in the middle, has moved more to the outside, or at least taking more swings. And the 6-2 offense really could move hitters all over the place, so it's not as a true definitive roles and spots as you might see in a 5-1. Carter with an incredibly difficult shot, misses. That's her 10th error. 12 kills, but now 10 errors for Carter. And that ties a season high. Kick save by the Cats, not working out. Oklahoma has come right back and has tied this one up in the 4th, and a must win for them. Timeout Wildcats. I mean, the Sooners back up against it, losing 25-23, then 25-16. Make wholesale lineup changes.
Different devices. It's my favorite time of year.
Even tonight, you could have been bouncing back and forth between Iowa State, Baylor, and our match here tonight between K-State and Oklahoma. Diouf tips and finds an open spot, and Diouf into double figures after missing it last night. Has 10 kills tonight and a timeout by K-State.
Yeah, there's a hesitation there with the Wildcats. They're on their heels a little bit. They're waiting for someone else to make that play. That's much different than the play we saw from them last night and even in the first 2 sets.
It's almost
tonight.
like their confidence is shaken a little bit, not knowing where to go without Carter having an on night.
Yeah.
They don't quite seem to have who else is going to come up. Bonde's been big, but their serve receive hasn't been well enough for them to distribute.
To her, right, yeah. And Fernholz, has been the only other player really that you've seen that has provided a little bit of spark when they needed it.
Shelby Martin has 7 kills, hitting .750. Center for the Wildcats is 1 dig and 3 kills away from a triple-double. So she's doing what she can offensively. As you see what's coming up next week for K-State on Big 12 Now and ESPN+. The Dillon Sunflower Showdown, Jayhawks over in Lawrence on Thursday and Friday. Neither team hitting well. 140 the hit percentage for K-State. They have 27 attack errors on the night. And Oklahoma 0.88 hit percentage with 24 errors. Kills have been quite lopsided in favor of K-State. It's been who has been able to control the unforced errors. And for much of the night, Oklahoma could not get out of their own way and unforced errors. And now it's K-State committing a ton of those. And a lot of that has been the block for the Sooners. A lineup change up front. They have 15 blocks against the Wildcats. But Dotson has been a big part of it, as she and Diouf both now with 10 kills to lead the Sooners on the left side. Trying to force this to a 5th, and an ace for Dotson. And Susie Fritz immediately throw up the challenge card.
That looked into me.
But then told to put it down. Oh, now they are going to give it to K-State. So they are going to say that it is not an ace, but instead an error.
I've been so wrong tonight, though, so.
Now there is some confusion as to was that ruled in or out on the serve. I got it now. And it was ruled out. Replay showed that that was likely the right call, but who knows at this point. 12 errors for the Sooners. Diouf touched on the block to Bonde, and just double hit, yep, on Martin. Ball handling error on Martin, and an opportunity wasted for the Wildcats.
Susie doesn't like that call.
Does not. And now Talpish is returned for Oklahoma, but to serve. Carter off the block.
That's a much better swing by Carter. She just turns the ball down line and uses the block. It's a great kill.
For Oklahoma, Talpish only in for 1 serve, and then she checks out. So playing as a back row. Passer only and server. Now the Wildcats was served down a point in this 4th set, trying to win it in 4 and avoid going to the 5th. K-State has played 4 5-set matches this year in 7 matches total. So they're very familiar with having to go the distance. But if you're the Wildcats, after being up 2 sets to none, hate to see it get to a 5th. Serve receive is not good, and Fernholz is right there to tie it up.
That's a disadvantage to having that back row setter. She can't jump to try to challenge that ball.
Diouf finds the middle. Boy, after the serve receive, he wondered if Oklahoma could turn it, but they do.
Yeah, it's a tough shot, but Diouf does a nice job just laying off of it enough to drop it right in the heart of the court for the Wildcats.
Young lady that averaged 3.8 kills per set coming into this weekend, but has been really negated. Carter blocked, but out. And back-to-back kills for Carter on attempts, and now she'll rotate out as Carlson returns. Carter has 14 kills. It's been a low percentage night for her on the left with 10 attack errors, which ties a season high, but she does have a career high 6 blocks. All tied up for the fourth as we near the later stages. Dotson from behind the 3-meter line picks up number 11.
Yeah, you think with Diouf up front that you would see that ball go to her, but that's the second time they've done that back row attack with Dotson.
So impressed with Dotson, right?
She's been great.
Carlson blocked. Big time block she's going up against there. Sanders and Carrington, both over 6'3".
Look and see if they'll go to Fernholz on this.
16 blocks for the Sooners. And Diouf serving. She's been a tough serve. K-State does go to Fernholz. Oklahoma blocks it with Dotson. And finishes with Dotson. And Oklahoma up 3 late in the fourth.
Dotson just has been the fire for Oklahoma. Time in and time out, had the answer for them.
Another near ace. Well, Diouf is really putting it on K-State with the serve. Tight set for Sanders, and she gets it.
It just doesn't seem like she's going to be able to get that ball over the net without making an error, and she uses those long limbs and is able to keep that ball in play.
This has been a completely different Oklahoma team since they have gone to the 6-2 and yanked the setter, and now Diouf, another service ace. Fourth ace of the night for Diouf. And set point for the Sooners. Martin staves it off with another kill. That's 8 for Martin in the kill department. Second set point for the Sooners. And now an ace by K-State. Set point number 3 for the Sooners. Fernholz gets K-State's first ace since the second set. Sooners try to end it here with Sanders. Block back over. Dotson. No. Carlson having a tip. Oklahoma's all over that. Quick set, Vernon. Diouf with a stab, keeps it alive, and it falls over the net in for Oklahoma, and they win set number 4. We are going 5 in Manhattan. Win by 2. These two teams going 5. It's no surprise. Oklahoma, their 3rd, 5th set match this season. K-State has played 5. Now 5-set matches this year. Archibong right into the match, gets a quick kill. So the native of Canada is out, or I should say Shawnee, Kansas. It's Vernon, who was the native of Canada, that is not in the lineup here for the 5th. Archibong from Mill Valley gets the kill to start the 5th. Dotson, who has just been wailing away at the K-State pins, picks up another kill, her 14th. And that ties a career high for Dotson.
Yeah, you see, she brings that arm back and she gives it her all every time she's going up. You love that fire.
She has tied a career high in digs. She has tied a career high in blocks, and now she has tied a career high in kills. Dotson. Diouf. K-State a bit out of system again. They find Carter, and a touch is called at the last second. It looked like Kinley got in the way of it. So Carter has 15 kills. And now the Wildcats to serve with Jackie Smith. At a St. Teresa's Academy, volleyball powerhouse in Kansas City. Here's Diouf. Dug out, flipped over. Free play for the Sooners here to wind it up. Morris, though, able to get to it. Fernholz on the slide, blocked. It goes off of her, kept alive and over. Diouf into the block. Can the Wildcats turn this around? To Carter, blocked! No, another big block by the Sooners to tie it up in the 5th.
Yeah, you have both outside hitters for Oklahoma and K-State teeing off on the outside, but Oklahoma with their huge block able to shut it down for Oklahoma.
17 blocks for Oklahoma. Martin with another kill. 9 kills for Shelby Martin, who is 1 kill and 1 dig away from a triple-double. Evoking memories of another southpaw-handed setter back in the day, Gabby Gare. Just trying to think of a left-handed setter that was always good for a triple-double.
That's right. She had many of them in her career.
Wildcats by 1 and serving. Drew Cook. Diouf. Down the line shot. Smith got it in the air. Tough play for Carlson. And now the Wildcats can't handle Maris. Maris will rotate out.
In comes Sanders. She was big for Oklahoma in that 4th set.
Not a great set for Fernholz. She throws it over. From the back row, a tip by Dotson. A new career high for her, 15 kills.
So smart. Like we were just talking about how she's been loading up and swinging away. Good mix-up by her.
Martin trying to get number 10, could not. And a whistle and a double hit on the Sooners. A ball handling error. Some of the risk you run with not a true setter in the lineup. Dotson trying to wind up on another one. Just getting to it was Jackie Smith. Archibong plays it over. Smith digs out Diouf, but it's over the net. Finished by Oklahoma.
There was a little chaos there at the net for Oklahoma. They weren't quite sure. Carrington was yelling at Sanders to take that ball, and she does a great job finishing it.
Diouf, who's been so good with the serve. Martin trying to get that 10th kill. She does!
She knew it. She knew it was number 10.
Probably. If not, just figuring that it's been effective. Sanders. And an antenna hit by Bonde on the attack.
Yeah, they haven't gone to Bonde very much. That might not have been the best time to get her the ball.
Second attack error by K-State in the 5th. Oklahoma yet to make an error in the 5th on the attack. Set middle for Bonde. A touch is called and a point to K-State. Well, there is a challenge available for Lindsey Gray Walton.
She thought about it.
But will not offer up the challenge. A kill for the Wildcats. Bonde with 11. Tied up. Dotson finishes again. Dotson red hot. 16 kills for Dotson.
That looked almost automatic. So smooth. Her transition from passing to attacking. She's definitely feeling that confidence now.
343 hitting on the left, 16 kills, career highs all across the board for digs and blocks, dominating on the left. Sanae Dotson. Carter. She finds the corner. Back and forth we go between these two teams here in the 5th. Almost to the midway point.
Yeah, Carter doing a nice job getting that ball over the block.
Tip coming. K-State is on it. Back to Carter. Throws to the corner. Did she get it in? She did not. Point Sooners. Timeout on the floor. Midway through the 5th. Anybody's match. Don't go anywhere. Big 12 Now, ESPN Plus.
Catch up for Oklahoma.
3 straight unforced errors, and that one on Anthony.
Yeah, they've been so good.
Susie Fritz talking with both Martin and Carter. Martin is 1 dig away from the first triple-double for K-State since 2014 as we take a look at her numbers and the other headliners for either team. Dotson again with a career night. 16 kills, a new career high, hitting .333 from the left. Really seemed to excel once Oklahoma went to this 6-2. 5 digs, 3 blocks, both tie a new career high. Wade Diouf has not had the numbers offensively, but 4 service aces. The 5 blocks are a new high as well. She's added 4 digs, so she's been impactful even though her numbers offensively have not lived up to the billing she had coming in. Carter, a tough day percentage-wise. 16 kills, 6 blocks, a new career high for her. And then again, Shelby Martin, out of nowhere, almost a triple-double.
Yeah, she's playing great, really, for the Wildcats. And really, the timing of those attacks have been really important for K-State. You know, she's not overdoing it with those attacks, but just throwing them in there at the right time. And that's so important, you know, when you have a left-handed setter like Martin. You don't want to overdo it because then, you know, then you're not as effective. But she's done a nice job of mixing it up tonight and really found the right time.
There have been 21 double-doubles in the history of the K-State program. The last came from Katie Brand back in 2014 on the road at Michigan. Before that, you have to go to 2011 and Caitlin Donahue, who was able to pull it off. Now, out of the timeout, K-State commits their own error, a service error. Side out to the Sooners. 4 aces, 13 service errors. 5 aces, I should say, 13 service errors for K-State. Talpish, who was the setter to start tonight, now only in to serve. Carter blocked again.
That's such a tough angle. That ball's coming over her right shoulder. But huge block in front of her. Nice job by Carrington to be patient up there at the net.
2 sets for Carrington, 8 blocks. The 18 blocks are a season high by any team in the Big 12 this year by a solid 2. Diouf blocked, kept alive. Carter from the middle goes up off the pass and kills it.
Heads up play by Carter. That ball kind of ping-ponged up to her off Martin's arm. That still counts for an assist, right?
A dig.
A dig.
There is the triple-double for Martin right there on that play.
An assist dig.
This year, more than ever, there does not seem to be much separation between number 2 in the league and Baylor. Well, number 3 for sure. 3 in the bottom. It is all very grouped together. A ton of ranked teams in there. A service here by Drew Cook right out of the timeout, so Oklahoma catches a break. Down just 2 points, but K-State 2 points away from a match win. Curtis, the sophomore from Oklahoma City, in to serve. She has served as the other setter for the Sooners in this 6-2 offense. Bryn Carlson, dug out by Dotson. Diouf, Smith gets the up. Carlson long, didn't hit the block, and a point to Oklahoma. And Susie Fritz may be asking for a challenge on the swing by Carlson. And she will call for a challenge. Well, if ball don't lie is true, then Oklahoma's going to need a lot of ball don't lie plays here in a moment. Also, I need to make an appointment with my optometrist after this match. Match point for K-State. Save by Jackie Smith. The ball popped up. Diouf breaks match point number 1. I should note K-State served there with Tayana Adams-Katanoe, the backup setter. She came in to serve that instead of Fernholz, just to provide more of a passing force on the back line, and now she'll come out. Morris back in there. Diouf to serve. It's still match point for K-State. This is match point number 2. Diouf has been a great server all night. Carlson to finish it, gets blocked, and it stays alive somehow from Dotson and Oklahoma. Back to Carlson, blocked off of her and down. Another block for the Sooners. 19 roofs tonight by Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma right now is in a good rotation. Diouf serving, huge block up at the front.
Timeout K-State. They still have match point. And they've caught the Wildcats in a bit of a non-offensive set as well in a rotation.
Yeah, you almost feel like with Archibong not playing earlier that they likely aren't going to set her the ball. The ball's probably going to go to Carlson is really what Oklahoma's got to be thinking. So, does K-State come out of this getting Archibong the ball? Or it's almost if it's a perfect pass, you might try to throw it up there to Archibong. She's pretty good on a slide as well.
If you're Oklahoma, it's kind of been quiet for Dotson here as of late. Diouf has taken 52 swings, only has 12 kills. Dotson, 16 kills, hitting .333, but we haven't heard much of her in the 5th, although she had a tremendous dig there a moment ago. Now 8 digs for her on a career night for Dotson. Triple-double for Shelby Martin, setter of K-State, with 10 kills, 10 digs, 38 assists. Katie Fernholz into double figures with 10 kills. Holly Bonde, 11 kills. And Aaliyah Carter was 17 to lead all scorers.
Now Martin is front row, so she could, if it's a great pass, consider being the attacker herself.
Well, wouldn't that be something to finish and get her jersey number in kills? Still match point for K-State. All the adversity and the challenges that have gone against Oklahoma tonight. They were down 14-11 here in the 5th, but have picked up back-to-back points and need one more to force extra points and break match point for K-State. Diouf to serve. Carlson, dug by Kinley, it nearly hits the scoreboard. Dotson, dug out by K-State. Martin to finish it, she got it! What a night from Shelby Martin! And K-State survives in 5 against Oklahoma.
You almost knew it had to be Martin to finish the set for the Wildcats. Smart play by her.
The left-hander gets kill number 11 to match her jersey number, and look at the emotion from K-State's newest member of the triple-double club in school history.